To call the Danville City Commission regular meeting to order. Today is Monday, March the 9th. The time is at 4:30 p.m. I want to thank you for your attendance and hope you take the opportunity to participate with us this afternoon. We're going to start our meeting off by having a moment of silence in memory of one of our departed citizens who spent a lot of his short years in our community as a very visible, very enthusiastic volunteer. I'm speaking of Michael Menje. So a moment of silence, please. Thank you all. The green wreath with the black ribbon on it in the back is placed there because Michael loved to attend our meetings and loved to question the things that were going on in our community. So in case you have questions about them. So please stand and we'll recite the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag together. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. First item of business is the approval of today's agenda. Commissioners, what's your pleasure about approving this printed agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, sir. All those in favor of approving the agenda as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Next item is the first opportunity on our agenda to hear from the public, and at this stage of our meeting, we hear from the public only about things that are on our printed agenda. So if you desire to talk about one of the items on the printed agenda, please raise your hand, be recognized, come to the podium, and we'll give you 3 minutes or less to talk to the commission. Seeing and hearing none, let's move right along. Next item, approval of the minutes of the previous meeting. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of 2:23 regular meeting and 3:05 special called meeting as presented.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, sir. Any questions, any corrections, additions, or deletions to the minutes? Hearing none, then let's call for the question. All those in favor of approving the minutes, both for the 23rd and the 5th, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Thank you all. Next item is a mural discussion. Kendall Clinton, going to lead that discussion with us.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
As you know, this is the year of the 250th birthday of America. We've got a lot of events going on this year. Last week was the first event, the Frank X. Walker event at Danville High School. There's another event coming up next week. 12 events in total, and these are all to help our community commemorate the 250th anniversary. As part of the discussions over the past year, the idea came up to have something a little bit more permanent to leave behind after all the events are through, and that idea ended up being a mural. So Danville's Public Art Committee, the CVB, Melanie Crossfield, and some other interested parties have been meeting, refining this idea, and came up with a design and a potential location to install this mural. So the CVB board has already been briefed on this, and they voted that if we were to receive funds, we would administer this, get the artist paid, oversee the installation of the mural, the preparation of the wall. So the location is the side of Nina Kirkland's building, the Coldwell Banker building that overlooks Weisiger Park. It's got a huge blank space there at the top. That would be painted, and first, the wall would be prepped, it would be painted, and then the artist would come in and paint the mural design on the wall. It's a very highly visible location downtown. You can see it once you pass City Hall. Great welcome for guests coming into our community, and be a nice source of pride for residents as well. It overlooks an area that's a gathering space on a monthly basis for, our concert series. It's, right in the middle of the Bourbon Chase when all those runners are down there. So a lot of people end up gathering in that area there. So it's a real good space for a mural. So Melly and I have both met with Nina and Kirby Stafford with Stafford Signs, who has come up with the proposed design for this mural, and kind of worked out some details, but we're all on the same page. We've got a agreement drawn up with the building owner and with the artist, and they've agreed to the terms of what we'd like to do. So, like I said, my board is supportive of us administering this, but the last remaining big hurdle is actually the funding for it. So that's what we're here this afternoon to request is the funding. And I'm sure Melanie has some additional information to share.
Is that a painted side now, that brick? It's already painted, so we don't have to worry about it?
Yeah, it's already painted. And it will be repainted. The entire wall will be painted a solid color before the mural is painted. There's some damage to the wall that needs to be repaired, and we'll just have a coat of paint, which I'm not sure if we decided on a color, but.
Yeah, they're just gonna prep.
Okay,
the
I knew the
surface.
historic overlay, they don't like you to
Right,
paint
well,
the,
so we've talked to Joni too,
Okay,
and we
good.
know the next step will be to go through her process. But that will take, once the CVB is completed their contract with the building owner for installing the mural and maintenance. And then they also will have a contract with the artist for what would be required of him. And then, of course, the city's interest is beautification of Weisiger Park and in commemoration of our 250th anniversary.
I know there's funds set aside for the 250th. With the county, are you going to ask the county to put a portion in on the cost as well, or just the city? Or would it come out of the funding for the 250th anniversary?
I'm not sure that it's budgeted as part of the 250th. It's more of a beautification project, a long-term beautification project. So-
Beautification, and I would argue from my perspective, there's an aspect of it that's economic development, that in terms of marketing, in terms of advertising, and just beautification of downtown fits into that category. And so it's something that I would lobby that you consider in that vein as well, not just a sheer
let
beautification.
me make the motion real quick in a second so we can
Yep.
talk.
Have a discussion?
I move that we approve the request for up to
50%, 1/3?
50%, okay. 10,000, that sound right?
I said 50%.
I thought it was 12%.
So
12,000.
the total project, so including the preparation of the wall and the installation, is likely going to be around 18,000.
Okay.
We've received over the weekend a more official quote for the prep work.
So your motion is to the city to contribute to the project without identifying an amount right now, what?
So that's on top of
I would be comfortable right now just saying half, and then if it comes to something else, we can
talk about it. Second.
do that.
All right?
All right, now we can talk about it.
Moved in second, so let's have discussion.
That was just my question. Are you going to request funding from the county?
We can, we will.
I mean, it beautifies.
It
and
is,
and this shows the courthouse, so. Just a thought.
That's
Wouldn't hurt
that's
to ask.
valid
Yeah.
to seek that, and we were bringing the idea, we didn't know how you all would feel about the expenditure, the total, or whatnot. Certainly, we can proceed and try to approach the county and try to see if we can't drum up the other half.
We wanted to gauge your interest first,
Yes, we, if-
as part of the park, and
I love
then
it.
move forward, because then we'll have to, address the DAHB. So just getting.
No, I like the idea, and I like the.
There were other
like the mural.
suggestions.
And really, the unveiling portion of it is the celebration, is part of the 250th celebration. But like Earl said, this is a photo op. This is a welcoming people to downtown Danville, to Danville in general. So I consider it.
Also
So-
defer to Lee on, are we good? Or do we have to take that out of your salary?
We're not.
Melanie, what's the life of the, so we're talking about a multi-year advertisement is what it amounts to.
So he said if we take care of it, it could last decades. But part of the contract gives about a 10-year maintenance window. And of course, if the building owner has any, needs to sell or do anything else later on, they can. But we have that in the contract.
So do you know exactly how much it is? I mean, to get it all done? Do you have
To
that
get
number?
it, the total number, so the artist is quoting for the design and paint is 12,000, and then for like the prep and the lift rental, because of how difficult it is to navigate, it'll be an additional 6,800, so total 1,880.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's half good. And if-
I was gonna
if they don't-
suggest that we ask for this rendition to have more blue in it. It says Danville. I see blue in the drawing, but it look like that blue.
So it is kind of hard to see, and I was gonna try to get the gray background is kind of, it's kind of like a blue-gray tint. It's more, his interpretation of it was a kind of a night sky, but it does have a blue tint, but if you'd like to see, I see the red we can look at the design again.
Yeah, 'cause yeah. I was thinking about, we have all of our welcoming signs with that black, white, and blue. This sort of gets to the same theme in a sense. It has the courthouse, not City Hall. So I just knew when I saw it, it was gonna be a 50-50 project, but that would be my recommendation. That it don't matter, the courthouse represents Danville too, but I think it's neat to have this someplace in our community. I think it'd be even better if you got 1/3 of the package from the city, 1/3 from the county, and 1/3 from who else is right suggesting this is. That there are other funding mechanisms around the community. But we have a motion here to pay up to at least 50% of it, so I'm not going. But I think as we talk out loud about it,
Yeah.
I think we need to consider other sources of income, because it is gonna be permanent, and it's gonna benefit a lot of people
No, it's great.
downtown.
I like where it is too. That's.
Include, yes, yeah, it's a good location, great.
We
location.
did find a picture that there used to be a giant Coca-Cola mural up there. So I thought that was interesting. We can always put that back if there is concern about that. I loved it. It was great, but this one looks even better.
Yeah, I like those murals downtown, those.
Yeah. Yeah,
So do you want me to amend or just go as we are, or what's your?
I think this
what's your
goes, yeah,
alternative?
they're gonna bring it back.
Yeah,
soon.
we
Okay.
will
Yeah.
approach
See
the
what you-
fiscal court and look at some other options, and we'll bring it back to you.
Okay.
And look at maybe a little bit of a design change to
Yeah,
match
mhm.
colors.
Good.
All right,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you.
So we carry our motion, participate?
Pardon? Yeah, we did
We
a
did.
motion and a second.
Yeah, we need to vote on the motion that allows us to participate. Is that right, Mr. Dexter? Okay, all those in favor of approving the motion to participate in the 2025, 250 mural project for downtown Danville? Is it M-U-R-A-L, mural project? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say aye. Motion carries. All right, thank you all. Next item is Resolution 26030901, IT surplus. Madam Clerk?
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners. In your packet, you have a list of items from IT that they're asking to surplus. These will be put on Gov Deals like we do with all the other IT surplus.
Is there a motion?
I move to approve resolution 2026-03-0901.
Is there a second?
Second?
Thank you, ma'am. It was amazing to see this list. This stuff must really be old because Kevin Cowell couldn't recognize any of them. So it must really be
I
old.
always like to look at it. It tells what's wrong with some of them. Won't power on, can't run windows. So you can use it for a boat anchor or a, I don't know, something.
All those in favor of approving this IT surplus list, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Next item is Resolution 2026-03-0902. Webmasters, right? Web Cemeteries change order number 1. Wow. Madam Clerk?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Last year, you all will recall, if I can get the words out today, that we signed a contract with Web Cemeteries to do a database online and try to transition to more technology-forward software for our cemeteries. The original contract was only for lot level mapping and not grave level mapping that we were looking for. So we requested Web Cemeteries do the grave level mapping, and that's gonna be an additional $500 to what we have already paid. I think it was, the original contract was
What's the difference, Ashley?
The
What's
difference,
the difference
so the
between the-
lot level mapping is just the lot as a whole. The grave level will actually give us each individual grave. And we're only doing that for sections A and F in Hilldale, and then in Bellevue, once we get to that, there's only gonna be certain area. We're not gonna do the real old parts in Bellevue. We're just gonna do like the newer sections and the ones that we have all of the information on and not just bits and pieces where we did take over the cemetery.
Right. So
early.
one of them just, like, will tell you the last name where the family might be, and then the other will tell you exactly where
The lot level would just give you a list of who's in that lot. The grave level will give you like who is in that specific grave, who owns that
Okay.
specific grave, and all of those types of details.
Yeah, it's really just when you get on, they sent us the original like link to look at the maps now that we have for Hilldale. When you get on there, it just shows each lot. And you click on one of the lots and it lists the 12 graves and what the situation is in each of those 12 graves. This will actually show, when you get on the map, it'll show every individual grave, and you'll click on the grave and it'll show you if someone's in the grave yet or not in each one. So it's really just, it was more of a convenience thing once we kind of roll this out to the public. It was kind of awkward. You click on a lot and there's a list of 12 and it's like, okay, what's in there was a lot of information on the screen. You kind of just scroll through a lot of stuff to see what was going on. So it was really kind of an ease of use. And then, so we asked for a price, and once we got a price that it was only going to be $500 to change to this, we thought that was good value for us.
And the grave level, like he was saying, it'll help the public realize like which graves are actually open for sale as opposed to just guessing in that lot. So we think that's the best direction to go, is to do the grave level for those.
$500 well spent.
Yeah, when you bring it up now, if there's any available graves in a lot, it says available, like it's labeled as available, but not all 12 graves are available necessarily. So now you'll be able to look at this whole map and see each individual grave, whether it's available or not. So.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Do we have a motion on that?
not yet.
Can I Chair like to entertain a motion?
Yeah. Okay, I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2026-03-0902.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, ma'am. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of accepting the Webb Cemeteries change order number 1, say aye.
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 Those opposed, motion carries. Should I just skip the next item? She just said yes. Next item is city manager's report.
Thank you,
All
Mayor,
right, Mr. Colby.
Commissioners. We do have a lot of dates. The first I would like to mention is tomorrow at 1 o'clock is our budget meeting. The 100 Years of Women event that was planned for Center College has been postponed till they want to have it in line with one of their larger events in the fall, it seems like. March 17th is the Shot Heard Around the World at the Bull County Performing Arts Center at 6:30 PM. That's a part of the 250th. Would like to point those dates out. In your packet, I've attached the current draft of the Parks and Rec Joint City-County Agreement Amendment I guess, recommended to be amended. There's some underlines inside of the document that's in your in the packet. If you do have any comments on that or see any red flags, please share those with us. We will bring that to the commission hopefully in 2 weeks. We'll run that through the county and talk to them one more time about it. But we feel pretty good with where that's at, and that reestablishes the capital committee that was established years ago that was used to do the infrastructure of Millennium Park. The difference is this one is more parks, system-wide, not just specific to Millennium Park. And so it's meant to make more efficient the priority of parks capital projects and easier alignment of joint city and county funding for projects. And so we think it's reasonable, and in our group, we've met with the county judge, and I think that they are trending towards the same feeling towards the agreement, and so we hope to bring that back in 2 weeks. Commissioner Holland will have coffee with the commissioners at the Hub, March 16th, 8:30 a.m. I know she's excited about that. The Leading Ladies Luncheon is tomorrow at noon. I think that one's also at the Country Club. And it isn't, there's no invitation required. Everyone is welcome to register and show up. There's no special invitation going out necessarily. We hope it becomes a reoccurring meeting. But the next event is tomorrow. The Civic Engagement and Local Government Series is kicking off tomorrow night at 6. So tomorrow night, we have a busy day, and appreciate Melanie participating in several of those events, and I know she's working for those. The other news that is post my memo is the notification from the public hearing for the connector road, the East Danville Connector Road for Tuesday, March 31st from 5 to 7 at Intercounty. And so we would like to make sure that's on your calendar. We've sent that notice out. And if you have any questions or any information I can get on that subject before that meeting, I'll be happy to try to do that. We would say that they don't intend to necessarily to get us an information in front of that hearing. I think they want that to be a clean slate presentation, and certainly we want to respect that for the staff and the design team.
Thank you, sir. Any questions, comments to the city manager? The ladies' luncheon, there's a charge for lunch. Everybody pays for their own lunch, I think.
Yes, sir.
Anyone knows the cost, the price? $20? Okay, all right. Any other questions for the city manager? If one of us guys show up, y'all gonna kick us out? She said that.
Mayor, we do have one more thing that I missed, and I'm reading that as we speak. March 19th at 6:30 to 8, there is a updated sign and public art guidelines to address wall and window signage, murals, lighting, and upper story signage. These guidelines will be, are tied to the DAHB work, And certainly, we would want to make sure that's public and known. And if you have any questions, we will try to do something on social media to reflect that notice in more detail than what I just communicated. But we appreciate being made aware of it.
Joni just asked me to inform you guys, and I sent you all an email about it earlier. She just encourages you all to participate in this public, it's their meeting, they're just hosting, because it's their kickoff to the design guidelines that we approved, I think, last year at some point.
And it's the 19th?
Yes, here at City Hall in the basement.
What time is
I
that?
think it starts at 6:30.
This is the project that the DAHB acronyms are bad. They got the grant
Okay.
to fund, it's like an 80/20 grant.
You said 6 o'clock, right?
6:30 to 8.
All right, any other questions, comments for the city manager? All right, thank you, sir. Let's move right along then. We're now down to our second hear the public, and this is where people who are in attendance can speak to the commission about items that are not on our printed agenda for today. Yes, sir, young man. Mr. Arnold?
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. I'm back to give you a little update on my meeting of December here with you all about the problem at Dorothy and Waveland. Josh did call me and made an appointment with me to meet on the property. And he said that he had an idea. He wanted to start out at the street and come back toward the head wall and everything that washed out. The reason I'm coming back to you all is this is not your problem, but you inherited it as the office you've got because a mayor put it in. And they were not commissioners. Yeah, they were commissioners in. And it's underground and it's flooded, and that big April rain of 10 inches lifted the head wall out in my driveway, and there's a big hole over there some kid's gonna get hurt in, and it's wide open. And I know Josh said that he'd try to get it done in January or February. This was in December, and I know the weather's been terrible. So I would just like to see us get started and dig a little to find out what's going on. Josh, do you think we can do that?
Yeah, I'll get with Rick. Yeah, I know you left me a message this morning, but I'll get with Rick whenever I get a chance.
But you know, all of that trash and stuff that's spewing up out of the ground is going all over my property, and I've got to start mowing, and I'm only a landlord at my age that mows their own grass.
Yeah, we'll reach out to you once I get a chance to talk to Rick, and we'll tell you when we can get out there. We'll set a schedule. Yeah.
Because I've owned it since 1980, and this underground stuff was put in the late 60s by a previous mayor and a landowner. They wanted a little park up in on the easement for the sewer line coming down toward Dorothy to put swings and stuff for the people of Baughman Avenue and Baughman Heights. And it got to be a drug distribution place, so it had to be shut down. There wasn't nothing but marijuana back then. And the kids lost that. And you're dealing with a subdivision that's well over 100 years old, has no drainage whatsoever. I have met with every engineer all the way back to Hayden Exon. You'll see his name on a bunch of plats and stuff. And we need to get it fixed. It floods. Every time that there's a flood, they have to put up the yellow horses to block the traffic. And I've owned it since 80, and it all happened before 80. So I just like to, we're going into spring and we're going into the rainy season. And it pushed that big rain just pushed the head wall straight up. So we've got to fix it, and I'm willing to do anything that y'all want me to do, you know.
Mr. Arnold, we'll for sure follow up. Thank you.
Earl.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
appreciate it.
We'll follow up with Public Works, and we'll be in touch with you.
You know how Baughman's laid out. all of Dorothy and all of that stuff goes right to that ditch, and it comes down through there, and it won't take the street.
Yep.
So I'd just like to see something done and stop this mess, because it's been going on forever.
Yes, sir.
All right.
That's all we need.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Tim.
Thank you.
Keep us updated. I said, keep us updated.
Yeah. I told you this is the first meeting I've ever been to in my life since I had property, and I'm gonna keep coming back till we get this correct. We'll get tired
It's all
of
right.
it.
No, that's, no.
But you've had to look at me in school too, so that's all right.
Mr. Arnold, did you buy the season tickets? Did you buy the season tickets to come see us?
Yeah, I'm not saying.
Okay, all right, just make sure, yeah. I'll let you know. I'll give you a call. That's too much.
All right. Yes, sir. Is there anyone else that wants to speak to the commission tonight? Anyone else? Anyone else? Hearing none, let's move down to commissioner updates and comments. Commissioner Holland, you want to talk to us tonight? I'm picking her. She's got laryngitis, I guess you call it. She can't talk to me tonight. She keeps picking me, so move on, dude. But she can't talk. Any other commissioner comments?
I just want to say thanks to Parks and Rec. They got their tournament going on for basketball. It's a lot of parents and kids and everything happening at Jenny Rogers. And again, the parking is crazy, as always. And then we had a little event yesterday for all the cheerleaders. They had a good time. There were probably about 500 people in there. And I appreciate the police coming by, and Ben was just coming by to see what all the ruckus was up there. So it was a fun day, so go out and see them play ball if you can.
She's a city commissioner, but she's still cheering.
That's right.
Wow, that's great.
You got it.
Other comments? Someone mentioned the Frank H. Walker Festival, and I had that on my list of things to include as well. I was thinking at Danville High School last Monday, not last Monday, starting Tuesday, Frank H. Walker presented along with one of his colleagues about his book, Lord in 9 Times. Then Wednesday night, the John Rosenberg story about the Holocaust escapee who impacted Eastern Kentucky as well as impacted the Civil Rights Movement was done. And then Thursday night, the Danville High School Choir entertained Dr. Angelique Clay, a soprano she's a soprano operatic singer from the University of Kentucky, and then she performed Thursday night with Danville High School's choir. And so 3 nights in a row, the 250th Celebration Committee helped to sponsor those events, and a lot of diversity, equity, and inclusion throughout our entire community during those 3 nights. Because really, I was impacted tremendously. Kudos to Bo List,
Yeah.
the new director of arts and programming at Danville High School, for putting all that together. Just tremendous. Okay? Other comments from the commissioners?
I'm just going to mention the, is it Philadelphia Philharmonic we saw this past week?
The Louisville Orchestra.
Louisville, I'm sorry.
Louisville, yeah, Louisville.
Philadelphia. Never
That's
even
all
been to
right.
Philadelphia.
It compared to
Anyway,
that,
that was really, I mean,
yes.
I'm not a big fan of that kind of music, but that was awesome. That was really, really neat. And if Mrs. Atkins had quit singing, I could have heard what they were playing, but it wasn't that bad.
Oh, wow. I'm gonna tell her you said that.
No, it was really nice. We're
It was.
lucky to have Sitter here for that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
and it was free. Right? Free tickets to that. Well, all that stuff was free last week, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Any other comments or updates? Okay, let's move along then. Next item is Ms. Compton's favorite one. We take time to pay our bills, so is there a motion to pay the bills? Come back here, man, we think you're going.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills in the amount of $1,395,384.69.
Second.
Thank you all. Any questions or comments about the bills?
Can I just ask what Hawkins Incorporated is? It's like water utility. I mean, I'm just, never heard of it, so I just didn't know.
99% sure they are chemicals. Let me
Oh,
double
okay.
check.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that WSU 118 is a chemical of some kind.
Okay.
What it does
I
is a
don't-
great
that's
question
fine.
that we can invite the water plant guys out here to explain.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I just didn't know what it was.
Okay. Any other questions? Any other unreadiness? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying our bills as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Next item, Resolution 2026-030903, HDR agreement. Mr. Carrier.
Thank you, Mayor. This item's in regards to a short form agreement between the City of Danville and HDR Engineering Services Incorporated for engineering services on future critical design projects. Such projects would typically be considered small in scope and may require expedited development for regulatory approval and construction procurement. Total fees not to exceed $25,000 as a collective without amendment. So essentially what this is it's a $25,000 agreement between the city and HDR to do general design services for smaller projects. So instead of having to go back and do budget amendments or contract amendments with HDR multiple times, you essentially can do multiple projects under the umbrella of this agreement. So one of which would be the Streamland sewer design. We've had some sewer backups out in Streamland. It's small sectional improvements to the sewer system. And then potentially contract administration and inspection for the Mox Creek Pump Station rehab, which is the next talking point. And then some sewer capacity design upgrades for inflow and infiltration. So it's a collective of smaller projects, but if you do them under the same agreement, you can go ahead and get them designed in cooperation with other projects and go ahead and get them sent to Division of Water and get them approved on the short term, as opposed to doing them in series and stretching that design and approvals through DOW over multiple months.
Okay, thank you, sir. What's your pleasure with commissioners? Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion, you doing it? I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2026-030903.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, and all those in favor of passing this resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Next item, Mr. Courier.
Thank you, Mayor. If you all recall, the Mox Creek Pump Station or the Bergen Road Sanitary Sewer Pump Station was previously bid in December of 2024. At that time, funds were not readily available to award that contract. There's currently available $959,638 in cleaner water grant funds that could be used for rehabilitation efforts for this wet well and valve vault rehab work, concrete repairs, and potential additional work in the surrounding pump station site. This will allow proper sanitary sewer conditions for the public regarding future anticipated additional flow into the Mox Creek Sanitary Sewer Pump Station. So originally, this is cleaner water ARPA money, round two, and the city of Danville, back in, I believe it was 2022, were denoted as the grantee for the county ARPA money. Originally, this money was directed towards a new water line along Highway 2168, but with increased pressure on the north side of town and into Mercer County, which there's parts of Mercer County that feeds into that pump station on Bergen Road. From a sanitary sewer perspective, we reached out to KIA, Debbie Landern with KIA ahead of this, and she confirmed that we could indeed, with the approval of the county, reallocate that money from a water line project to a sewer line project. So that's essentially what we're doing with this exercise right here. There'll be local match money of $615,362 for a total available funding source of $1.575 million for the pump station rehab. So hopefully it won't take that much money, but, like I said before, we bid this out back in 2024, And at that time, we didn't have the money to move forward with it, so we wanted to circle back and reallocate this money for some sanitary sewer needs on that side of town.
Okay, thank you, sir. Is there a motion?
Where we at? I move for approval of Resolution 2026-030904.
Thank you, sir.
Second.
Thank you, ma'am. Any questions or comments?
Do we already have the match set aside
Yes,
in the budget,
in the capital, is that
the
right? Lee?
capital?
We had funds for the original projects. As, there was a potential debt issuance that was gonna cover part of it, but we ended up using that to finish out wastewater treatment plant phase,
One.
one of the project. So but we still have the remaining in their fund balance to help cover that.
The pressure from it, remember when the announcement was made for the sewer expansion on Gwen Island and all of that effort? When the state pushed that project forward with an investment of the grant money that the Mercer County Sanitation District received, that meant that the part of that project was also funded with an allocation and letters of support from Bull County Fiscal Court. So it is necessary for us to get our infrastructure side with them speeding up their work in Mercer County, which is served by this pump station. It's necessary for us to speed up the improvements to the pump station. So getting the pump station renovated is now a priority versus the water line that the money was originally intended for.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor of approving 030904 cleaner water reallocation, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Next item, resolution 2026-030905. Oh, my favorite one, Dock Dog Facility Agreement.
Yes, thank you all. In your package, you have a rental agreement with Dock Dogs to host an event at Millennium Park. I believe the dates are July 21st through the 27th. And they're asking to waive the fee, the rental fee for the event. And there's also a few items they're striking through in the agreement. They'd like to camp out it'd be on the fairgrounds side of the property. There's a map at the end of the packet that shows the kind of general location of where they would be set up at. And I'm kind of filling in for Tommy on this one, so hopefully I'll be able to answer your questions if you have any, but that's kind of the general information there. Like I said, they'd like to host the event there July 21st to 27th, and they like to waive the fee, and Parks and Rec staff has worked with them throughout the process on this, and they're in favor of it.
So we are treating this like it's a community event in that because they do bring people in from out of town, and it's more like a community event versus them just renting the facility, and the ordinance allows the fee to be waived for community events. And with your
Are there
approval.
guidelines for that? I wondered about that. I mean, I understand what you're saying. It makes sense. I just wondered if we had, it'd be difficult, I guess, to do that. But
It's really, it's what your instinct is, really, with the parameters that we have. And so it's my suggestion that it's a community event, honestly. Josh and Tommy asked for direction, and so I leaned in on that side of it. Specifically, the first time we try it, this is the first time it will be at the fairgrounds. It's the first time that we've considered this style of an event. And so it's certainly reasonable to test it and to see this first cycle and treat it like a community event. If it strays away from that and becomes something different, then you can make a different decision next year, and our recommendation would be different.
Do you know how much is being waived or what the fee was?
Well,
Is?
our fees, I was actually texting staff
yeah.
to see, it's usually $150 a day for something like this. So I think if it would be
Yeah.
7 days, I mean, it's a good chunk of money, but if it's the 21st to the 27th, but, it just would be 100, that's, I know that's what our fee is if like you rent a field for an entire day. And I was looking at the top in of the form, It was $150 a day if you're in like the pickleball courts out for the whole day. That's just $150.
Yeah.
So I think that's usually our number we land on. Just the show barn is on here. It's $150 per day. So I think it would probably land in that same realm.
And hopefully the people that come will more than make up for that at local eateries and whatnot. Apparently not at the motels, we can't sleep out there, but.
Yeah, that's the idea, that it's a draw for tourism and a draw for, I know we saw a bunch of folks last year at Kroger that were shopping, that was in town for the
It's a
event.
big
So
event.
Yeah.
we leaned that direction, and that was our, specifically, when I asked, that was our recommendation, and so.
You said Fairgrounds versus Millennium Park?
It's in the fairgrounds. It's
Fairgrounds?
not inside of the original Millennium Park boundary. It's on the city side of the fence, the city Whites Park side.
Has
And
it
they'll
been in
have their own.
Millennium Park? Has it been in Millennium Park before?
No, at the showroom.
It was years ago.
Okay.
It was in Millennium Park years ago, and there were some structural reasons why it didn't work out there. And so they went towards the showroom because they had flat level access for camping was a little easier there and
Yeah.
did not have as much conflict. And so what we think if the showroom isn't the proper site, and when we're talking to some of the folks that are pushing the event, as local, participants, I guess, we felt like that the fairgrounds offered some similar features that the showroom property did and would not be in conflict with other events you're having in Millennium Park. And so we felt like that was a better location in and of itself.
Sounds good.
And they carry their own insurance.
With the agreement, they would have to carry
Okay.
insurance, yes.
So I will move for approval of Resolution 2026-030905.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
I second
Thank you, ma'am. I guess this would be a good food truck opportunity for some people too, wouldn't it? Food truck sale? All right, all those in favor of approval of 030905, the dogs, facility agreement, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Resolution 26030906, downtown lighting procurement. Josh? again?
Yes, thank you all. This is kind of a funny coincidence that we have this on the agenda tonight after we had a few items taken out last week. But we ordered 5 new bollards, including bases, and 1 new shorter pedestrian street light last fall. We did them in 2 separate orders, but they came in together, and we got one invoice. It was over $30,000. So Lee said, "Hey, we need to take this to commission to get approval on the invoice." So that's what we're here for tonight. We have their invoices included in your packet in the amount of $30,425.22 with Sesco Lighting. They're kind of our sole source for our lighting. That's where it was all purchased from. We did the initial bid, the request for proposals for all the downtown lighting when we were doing the project. So we just need your all's approval to pay that invoice. This gives us a good chance to talk about, the bollards down and everything that we have downtown. Thankfully, this incident last week, we were able to, the police, we have a report on it. We'll be able to do an insurance claim through the insurance of the company, the guy that hit them. So get all that repaid. I mean, they impacted probably $40,000 worth of material because not only did they get 5 bollards and another street light, the same street light that we just put up here. They also hit a garbage can, and then the street light fell on a bench and busted up a bench, so I have to get a bench as well. But thankfully, we'll get all that, repaid for with our insurance. And we're actually trying to get the light put back up, the light that was knocked down. I think we're going to be able to put it back up. We had to put some parts and pieces in that we had down at the shop, so we should be able to get that up pretty quickly. The hard part is it takes us about 6 months to get these delivered. I ordered these back in August, and they were just delivered in January. That's why we're just looking at this invoice now. So we're going to try to keep at least a stash of 5 bollards at a time. The bollards, we can usually put them back up if they're not completely destroyed when they get run over. If they just get knocked down, we can replace the bolts, put them right back up, hook the electricity back up, and get them going again. But we're going to try to keep a stash of about 5 bollards at a time. This hopefully will provide us with an extra street light that we'll have at the shop will be funded by the insurance. We'll be able to have that extra waiting for the next time this happens. So So that's kind of the plan at this point. The bases are the harder thing, you know, the little skirt that covers the bolts. We're trying to keep a good amount of those around here because they get damaged every time this happens. So we need to replace them every time. But they're kind of the most minor part of all this. But we've had some good discussions about, you know, the bollards are really there to not be expendable, but if anything's gonna be hit, they're the things that we're okay with them being hit. If something's gonna get run over, the bollards is okay. We can, like I said, most of the time we can pop them back up. They're pretty replaceable. As long as we're trying to protect the bigger cost items and people themselves, then the project's kind of achieving its goal. In the meantime, we've had some good back and forth with the state about, you know, truck route signage and those kind of things. We're gonna do some stuff downtown that maybe helps out with that. We're trying to get them to buy into doing some more stuff out at the edges of town as trucks are coming in to redirect them. But I also feel like this is kind of a bigger issue, a symptom of a bigger issue that we have with, you know, folks just following their GPS systems and going wherever it tells them and never even looking at signs or where they're at. Because especially that turn off of Third onto Main is not even where the existing truck route signs tell them to go. The truck route is to go to Fourth and come down and then turn onto Main. We don't want to make in either of those turns, but if they're going to make one of them, we'd rather them do it at Fourth. There's a lot more space. And they usually just hit 2 bollards there instead of 5 that they hit down there. So if they do a bad job. So our good truck drivers that we have here locally, they know how to do these turns. They know where to go. We don't have any issues with them. It's usually out-of-town folks coming through, just following the GPS system. So we've had conversations about that. How do we've tried to get with these mapping companies before to say, hey, how can we prevent, especially trucks coming through areas they don't need to be in? And we've just not had any luck with that at all. So we're gonna start that back up again. I'm trying to kind of join up with some other cities. I was actually at we went up to the Bluegrass Ad today, the Regional Transportation Committee meeting. I was chatting with some folks about it, about what we can do as like cities to kind of join up and say, hey, we don't want, when someone puts a through route through Danville, they shouldn't go through downtown, especially a truck. Like, how do we prevent them? How do we encourage GPS, mapping companies to help us with that? So we're trying to explore different ways we can tackle this.
Did they have some ideas? I know you talked about that. I didn't know how you went about that kind of thing.
No, we don't have any good ideas yet. We're gonna try though. We're gonna work on it and see what we can figure out. We've had more luck with actual trucker-specific apps that truckers use, like they're receptive to it. We've passed some information along them. I don't know what that looks like on their end when they put that information in, if they have, hey, avoid this right turn. But with the big companies, Waze, Google, Apple, we've had very little luck going down those routes. But like I said, I think it's a symptom of a bigger issue because, we talk a lot about like people using Kemper Lane as a cut through. We've had to put speed humps out there. People using Popplewell to go around Walmart now. Those kind of things that are popping up more and more. And I think it is just people plug it into their phones because locals know, like I'm not going to go use those ways. I mean, especially Popplewell. And even if we do use them, you're gonna know what you're getting yourself into. So you're gonna go a little slower. You're definitely not going to take a truck into these areas. So I think that's something we're going to work on. But first thing you'll probably see is signage. I sent some wording to Melanie. She's working on some design stuff. So we're going to get some signage up downtown pretty quick that just warns trucks of the issue that they're going to run into if they try to turn right at these intersections. So,
Josh, can you give an update too of the flooding on the 2 or 3 of the pedestrian crossings?
We received a proposal today, actually, Precision Sidewalks that does our grinding. We do our sidewalk grinding that we kind of do annually around town on sidewalks. They also have a program where they have a machine that grinds the gutter line to remove puddles in a gutter line. So Earl ran into them at a conference somewhere and had said, hey, call Josh about downtown. So I've been meeting with them over the past few weeks. They've come down and done surveys. If people have noticed the white dots around a few corners downtown, that's them surveying the gutter line to see how the flow line in the gutter. They sent a proposal today. I've got that. We're going to enter that in and get that approved. It's under 30,000, so we're just going to move forward. And what they'll do is they'll grind out the high spots in the gutter line to get the water to drain out of, particularly some of these ramps we have downtown. There's Fourth and Main in front of Central Kentucky, and Third and Main in front of Farmers, and Third and Main across the street in front of Chase. Some of those corners, when they did the paving after the curb was installed, they just didn't get the paving quite right, and it's real subtle. But I mean, if you raise that paving up just a half inch, all of a sudden you have a half-inch puddle that sits there every time it rains. I think they're going to be able to come in and grind that asphalt down, get that to drain into the drains it was meant to go to.
That's a symptom of downtown just being so flat.
Yeah, yeah.
The area between, about the entrance to Chase Bank to the courthouse on the east side, the intersection at 4th Street on the east side, that's very flat. And so any little nuance, the half inch does cause a puddle, does cause a pretty good.
Yeah, it's so subtle that even when they came into the surveys, one intersection, they surveyed it wrong. They went the wrong direction. And they came back to me and showed me what they were like, this doesn't look right. We're really gonna have to grind this out. I'm like, well, you all went the wrong way. And it's visually, when they looked at it, they thought, oh, the water needs to go this way. They were completely wrong. So it's that subtle, it's that flat. It's hard to even visually tell which way the water should flow. So it really was, yeah, it's actually a lot easier to do drainage projects when there's a hill. Like, it's a whole lot easier. The water, you don't have to worry about it.
Let's have a motion for the downtown lighting procurement, 030906. Do we have a motion?
I will make a motion to approve resolution 2026-030906. And I have one more question after it's seconded.
I'll second
You see, I got to cut off on that discussion. No, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I took that. I hear a lot about the bollards, of course. That was a requirement, as I recall, isn't it? To put a screen between the road and people that eat, or is that just?
It wasn't a requirement. It was really just it was kind of the part of the design for us to try to keep trucks off of the sidewalks. You know, at the time we had.
It's a best practice.
We had
really
this,
is.
we had the signal was out at 4th and Main for a long time. We had that wood pole up that we had to replace. That wood pole was there for years because trucks they were always jumping the corners. They were always hitting anything that was on the sidewalk. So this was just a way for us to visually extend. It was, not only were we extending them with the curbs, we were visually extending the sidewalks and changing the radiuses of the curves. So I think it was more of saying, hey, this is a boundary we're going to set. And if they hit the bollards, then we're going to be okay with that because it's going to keep them off of the signals. It's going to keep them off of the streetlights. It's going to keep them off the people. It's going to keep them off the benches and the tables. So it really was, it's a bit, like Earl said, it's a best practice looking around, as you do these new streetscapes, that it's a way to kind of not just change the sidewalks, but change what your vision says, how wide the road is. And what space you have
Josh,
to work in.
anywhere you have high pedestrian movements, features like the bollards are considered an important part of the design because it does ensure that a truck isn't randomly dropping up on the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to remember the purpose of the project. You had a dangerous downtown. You had speed, and it is often misunderstood, and it is difficult to remember because it did receive beautification awards. It received some streetscape awards. The objective that you had was to slow traffic down. And so in the turning movements, when you have someone turning from northbound on 3rd, westbound on Main, you want that movement to not have a right turn conflict from the southbound side. So we want to make sure that the opposite side is stopped. And then we want that movement to occur very slowly. We want that person to have to aim to make that turn lane. And without that, that's you get higher speed impacts. You get higher speed impacts with pedestrian movements.
You talk to people and they all of a sudden become traffic engineers and have all these cool ideas. So I just wanted something to come back and just, this is just best practice is to get it in the driver's mind that there's something there that they need to avoid and swing around.
And I also think, even seeing, watching the video of the guy last week on run over all that, if those weren't there, he would be running over, they would be further up on the sidewalk, probably hitting the signal. He almost hit the signal anyway. But if those bollards aren't there, so he he's probably hitting a signal pole, which is, I mean, that's a $200,000 piece of material. So I think as long as we're nudging them out with if it's, and we originally had the bollards were not going to be breakaway. The original design, the bollards were going to be poured into concrete. And the state made us change those to breakaway. And I was kind of against it at the time because, I mean, they, if you're trying to protect human lives, you're trying to protect pedestrians, you want it to be solid. But I also think we would have even more of an issue right now if they were not breakaway, because these trucks would then get hung up on them, and we would have, downtown would just be shut down while we had to pull these trucks off these bollards. And they would be damaging even more of the sidewalk. So I think breakaway probably has worked out okay, because it helps keep people pushed out, but at the same time, it's something we could easily repair once.
One of the things with those truck drivers that you find when they have an area where they're turning, and you really sit down on the bypass where they have an opportunity to turn in from the bypass into a place where they're doing a delivery. And what you'll notice on the inside of that turn, they'll drop that trailer tire off the blacktop into that gravel. And a lot of times, Public Works will go out there and put gravel in those holes in an effort to keep them on that gravel. Well, as soon as you do that, they will drop it off 2 feet further. They'll drop, wherever you put that limit, they will put the rear end of that trailer at that limit. And so if your intention is to try to keep people contained in those intersections where you did have high speed, putting those borders then becomes something that those truck drivers have to aim with. And yes, sometimes they hit them, but yes, that's why they're breakaway. And so we know that. But again, by design, the intersections are bottlenecked down, not necessarily because it's pretty. You try to make it pretty, but they're bottlenecked down to decrease the pedestrian's travel time from safe spot to safe spot and to slow the vehicle speed to go through the intersection. And that's what you accomplish with the streetscape project.
I'm just glad we do bill the trucking companies that hit them that we know about.
Yes.
And try to get some of the money back.
Yeah.
And thanks for working on the signage and stuff. That's what I was talking to Earl about. I mean, if we can do something, even with the Department of Transportation or somebody to say, help, because it's happening all the time.
Yeah, and it really comes in waves as well. Like we'll get a few over a few weeks, and then we won't get anything for a couple months, which that's an odd kind of effect of it as well. So one of the things, Jessica, that works for me now, one of the things I've asked her to kind of work on is she's going to start tracking this more in depth of like the status of all of our materials downtown, and we're going to keep better track of it, and that way we have a little better data moving forward. So that's one of the projects we're going to work on.
We have a motion on the floor and a second, and we've had a lot of discussion, so I'm going to call for the question on Resolution 2026-03-0906, downtown lighting procurement. All those in favor of passing this, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
No. I'm a no. I want to wait for the new signs. Sorry, I don't have a voice. I'm just a no because I'd rather put new signs up first
Oh.
and then put ballards.
Yeah, this is just to pay
This
for the
is-
ones that just came in, this is, if I'm not mistaken.
This isn't to
Yeah.
replace the one that they hit last week. It's not because of that, this is a bill
Yeah.
you already had ordered a long time ago.
I ordered these back in August. These are a previous order.
Yeah, it's still okay to vote no, though.
Yeah.
That's all right, no. She finally spoke, right? And she did a good thing. All right, I'm with you. Let's go on to the next one then. Hey, I always say the chair is open for a motion, and the motion could be to approve, to deny, or to table. You all got options. Everybody thinks y'all just approve everything, but you don't. Let's go on. Next item is, well, I don't see Glenn Dome back there, so Glenn Dome stand in. Oh, there he is. 2603-0907, recorder grant application.
Yes, thank you all. The recorder grant request, the Danville 911 Center recorder through ads and Eventide needs to be upgraded. This piece of equipment records all of the phone calls and radio traffic. This allows the center to be able to pull calls and radio traffic for open records, investigations, and prosecutions.
It is also state and federally mandated by the Open Records Act in Kentucky and the Federal Records Act law. So we're requesting to apply for a grant through Homeland Security to help offset these costs. The approximate cost of the equipment is $30,000, somewhere right between $28,000 and $30,000, and with the city having a 10% match through the grant.
Well, thank you, sir. Is there a motion?
I'll move that we approve Resolution 2026, 0309, 07.
Second.
And I have it seems like
Thank you all.
this particular subject matter is getting more important all the time. I mean, having things recorded and having things that you
It
can
is,
rely on.
it is, and we get so many open records requests, and it's, I mean, the system's worn out.
Other comments? And all those in favor of 030907 recorder grant application, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Next item is resolution 2026-030908, radio upgrade grant application. Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you. The Danville 911 Center's current radio software is at the end of life. The software can no longer be modified, updated, or debugged. To upgrade to a new version, all of the hardware will need to be replaced and upgraded to Windows 11. We're asking for permission to apply for a grant, again, through Homeland Security to help offset that cost. The approximate cost of the equipment is going to be $54,866, with the city having a 10% match through the grant.
I like that.
You like that? Yep. What's your pleasure on that? Radio upgrade grant application. We love grants, right?
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2026-030908.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
Ms. Sarah said yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of approval of the radio upgrade grant application, say aye.
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 Those opposed, motion carries.
Move to adjourn?
So move, Is there a need for an executive session?
There is a short one for litigation, and we have an economic development question or discussion.
Specific business proposal.
The key word in that was, all right, is there a motion?
Make a motion to go into executive session to discuss litigation pursuant to KRS 61810-1C, and also for business development pursuant to KRS 61810-1G for discussions pertaining to a specific proposal.
Thank you.
Is there a second? Motion died for lack of, what's wrong with y'all doing over there?
I'm doing my,
Oh, you seconding?
no, I was wanting him to.
Oh.
I will second.
No, I was gonna say motion died for lack of a second, but we probably moved in second that we go into a brief
Brief, yes.
brief executive session. Yeah, brief means 25 words or less, 5 minutes or less, 15 minutes or less, something. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, we're in executive session. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. We're back in regular session. Mr. City Manager, you have something for us?
I do. This is something I was saving out because I wanted you all to accept the resignation of Marquita McElroy Case from the position of telecommunications officer.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you all. Any questions about it? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Is that all you got for us?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Chair would like to entertain a motion to go back into executive session.
I'm gonna make a motion, we adjourn. And go over to Stephen's house and hang out and pool and do whatever.
So, Cottle made the motion, and who seconded the motion to adjourn?
Somebody please.
Second, making me do it.
All those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Adjourn.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you all.